This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future.
Hey guys, how's it going? Matt from Foulball Productions here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you're doing well. I'm doing phenomenally. Thank you so very much. This is the MFer Podcast, episode number 43. Holy heck. This is even consecutive weeks, guys. I mean, I am really starting to put something together. I'm really cooking with gas. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Hope things are crushing. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Getting back on my feet, trying to just, keep my eye on the ball. Hopefully get like some kind of semblance of a system going where I can do this every week and make content and actually prop up my YouTube channel like I used to do, which I have not done in some time. But I have feelings to do it, just not plans. But thank you for joining me today. I would ask that you all check and make sure you're still subscribed to my humble channel because every single day I open up my YouTube studio and more subscribers just unsubscribed. And I guess maybe all these people hate me. I don't know. I don't know why the YouTube algorithm finds it necessary to just like unsubscribe people. Like, who gives a shit? What does it matter to YouTube? I guess maybe they're trying to like squash bots or something. I have no idea. I find it super weird. People that have like spent a lot of time on my channel, like they're here for like every stream, they get unsubscribed. Roxy, God damn it. My fucking cat. My little kitten. She just hops up the wall. I have all these soundproof panels on this side of the room. And man, she loves climbing them. Thanks for that, Rox. There she is. Little nut job. Little lunatic that she is. But yeah, so anyway, I don't know. Make sure you're still subscribed. That would be feckin' marvelous. What's going on? Oh, so there's that game. What's that game? The Wukong game that's out. Everyone's talking about this game. My God, this came out of nowhere. I heard nothing about it. Now, I don't know much about this game. If anyone is out there, maybe you can tell me about it. Although it doesn't seem like it. Seems like it's just me in here. But God damn it, Roxy, cut it out. Oh, monster. She's insane. In fact, I think I'm just going to escort her out. I think I'm just going to make sure she doesn't continue to do this and distract from the brilliance. So hold on one second. Roxy. Get out. Alrighty. Where was I? Oh, yes. Yes. Talking about the Wukong game. Wukong. I don't know anything about it. Sounds a little much like Wuhan for my comfort. But yeah, games everywhere. Vigilante Williamson, my pal, my friend. I saw he was streaming it this morning, which it must be good because he is not. I don't normally see him in the morning ever. So he's into it. Everyone's into it. Everyone's into it so much that I understand that it set records for like single player Steam plays ever. Now, I don't know if that was concurrent or if it's just all single player hours, but I understand that it was like all single player hours for any game in the history of games in like 5 days or something like that. I'm very curious to see which that actually was. Let me see here. The Monkey King. Oh, okay. Monkey King streaming hours or something. Let's see here. DDD. It was something like it's the biggest game ever. Yeah, record-setting launch popularity. Oh, okay. Hold on. Ah, damn it. To manage cookies. Oh, heavens. Yes. Black Myth. Oh, God. I don't. Fine. I'll accept your cookies. Leave me alone. Black Myth Wukong already Steam's most played single-player game of all time. How is that possible? How is it possible that this game that just came out, is destroying these records? I have no idea. Now over 2 million players have taken to Steam to give the game a whirl. Its concurrent peak player stands at 2 million. That's crazy too. Because it's not even like a free game. If it was like a free game or something like that, I could kind of see that. But the fact that everyone is playing this game, and it's still like a $60 like AAA priced game, is nuts. Like I just heard about it when it launched. Like, was there a lot of hype around it that I was unaware of? Were there just a lot of people like talking about this game that I never knew? This is the first I'm hearing about it, but boy, oh boy, it's a hit. So the original story, okay, it's rooted in Chinese mythology, had an impressive debut. Yeah, I'd say it had an impressive debut. I'd say the most historic debut in games. Like, yeah. Impressive might be understating it just a little bit. I guess I'll share this article with you. Not that I think you fucking care, but you know what? To be a good host, to let you in on what I'm looking at, maybe you could scrutinize the source. Oh my God, go away. Maybe I'm bringing you false info. I don't know. Oh my word. Oh my heavens. Okay. RPG rooted in Chinese mythology, impressive debut, surpassing record current. Oh my God, this website's ads are bad, eh? Record numbers for likes of Elden Ring, Hogwarts Legacy, Cyberpunk, and Dota 2 in just a few short hours already became the most played single-player title of all time on Steam. Is that just because so many people were playing it at the same time? I don't get it. I don't know how that's possible. Fourth most played game of all time. Fourth most played game of all time. And it came out, the other day? Right? Am I getting this correctly? When did this come out? Am I up to on the story here? I believe that is the case. Fucking crazy. Oh, China. Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. I was like, why? Why on earth is this game so popular and so fast? Because China has 1 billion people to play games on. Understood. Okay, that tracks. I was like, why? What is the deal with that? That makes a lot more sense. Okay. But the other thing I heard about this game, so I guess it makes more sense that that's why it's so successful. It's because 1 billion Chinese people are playing it, and you're like, oh, well, okay, yeah, that's pretty nuts. I guess that's that sweet, sweet Chinese money all these media companies in the United States are trying to get their hands on. But it says no feminist propaganda, no COVID-19 discussion. Email is real. Now, is this a Chinese studio that made this game, or is it an American studio that made this game? That's the question. So I guess there was some email going around about what they're not going to do. But now I want to know if it's Chinese or not. Game Science. Chinese. Okay, so it's a Chinese game studio launching a Chinese game. Very big in China. That all tracks. That all makes much, much more sense now that I have all the details sorted out. But it's interesting. Do not insult other influencers or players. Do not use any offensive language, humor. Okay, I mean, I don't necessarily need that. Do not include politics, violence, nudity, feminist propaganda. Based-ass China, bro. Let's go. Fetishization or any content that instigates negative discourse. Do not use trigger words such as quarantine, isolation, or COVID-19. Uh-oh, I just got demonetized by saying those words in order. Do not discuss content related to China's game industry, policies, opinions, news. This email was not sent to journalists, as some of them have said. It's fake based on that, but it was for creators only. These guidelines may also not have made it to all the creators or were sent out merely from requests for codes for those. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, so they were just like, listen, we're making a game. We're going to leave politics out of it, which is interesting, right? I would say for China, notoriously, like, you can't say certain things or you'll get black bagged and disappeared and you'll never see your family again until you're re-educated properly. Interesting that they had this real focus on what we would consider DEI. I don't think they have DEI in China. But, like, they made this game, and then it's like people are going gaga for it. How are the reviews is my question. How are the reviews for Wukong? Are they good? Are people liking it? Or are they just like, it's not woke, therefore it's good? Let's see. Google has it says 4.6 out of 370 ratings. IGN gives it 8 out of 10. Game Rant 6 out of 10. Games Radar 4 out of 5. I'm really curious. Because also, journalists, right? Like, as soon as, like, it's like, oh, it's not going to be spreading leftist propaganda? What a terrible game. And those people should be ashamed. I don't know. It's an action RPG. Feels a little weird to be playing and simping for, like, a Chinese game. I don't know. Just feels like Chinese media mixing with my media. But I guess it's propaganda free. I don't know. It's pretty interesting. I watched a video by this YouTuber called Never Knows Best. Very interesting guy. And he does extraordinarily long, very detailed videos. But this one was really interesting. It was about the Chinese game market and the Chinese game industry. And he played a bunch of these games because it was like China has really complicated laws about how games can be played. They even have like strict laws regulating people's ability to play games in China. Like, it's illegal. I don't know if it's for minors or for everybody, but there are laws limiting how many hours a day you can play video games, which, I don't know that I would want that, but I think on some days I could probably use that. That'd probably help me out. I think I could probably use a little distracting every once in a while, like break up the commitment to the game. But it was a really fascinating video just about this like lesser known Chinese games, the way they're played, like what their values are. It was a pretty interesting video. So I guess there's just more of a Chinese game market, or at least game developers, than we are aware of. I just wonder how many of these users that are playing this Wukong game are in America, where it matters. I'm curious about that. Like, let me see. Wukong players US. Okay, I keep saying the 2.2 million. Yeah, 90% of Wukong players are from China. The United States makes up, what is that? Like a very small amount. Yeah, still pretty significant. 3% of U.S. So what's 3% of 2 million? 3% of 2 million. is 120,000. That's not all that. Wait, no. Hold on. Am I reading this right? Did I do the math right? No, 360,000. 360,000. All right. I don't actually know what population of people passes for a popular game on Steam players in the United States. I have no idea. But that sounds pretty good, but it's definitely, a small Oh, there's actually it's funny. I just opened up YouTube and there's a video of Razor Fist, whom I love, going off on the Black Myth Wukong controversy. He says, "Stop simping." I have no idea what the hell. I don't know what he's talking about there. It's a 22-minute video, so I'm not going to get into it now. But I do fuck with Razor Fist, so I'll check that out when I'm done talking with all of y'all. All of you. All the many, many amounts of people who are here talking to me. Russell Crowe was on Joe Rogan. That's interesting. That is interesting. What do you know? What do you know? So, I don't know. Not woke video game. That's all I need for my fucking gaming experience to be good. Not woke, dude. It's not woke. It's cool with me. I mean, that is kind of a prerequisite. I was playing a lot of that Baldur's Gate 3. Which I gotta be honest, like, if you avoid, it does get to be, like, a lot with all your companions. All of them want to fuck you. All of them. You are equally attractive to every member of your party. You can have a relationship with any one of them. And they all throw it at you, too. Like, in my first playthrough, it was just like, I didn't have a relationship with anyone. I was like, I don't care about relationships in games. This is stupid. Like, this is like a video game. What do I care about the digital relationship with a fake? Who cares? Why would I waste my time doing that? It's like so boring. We have to stop the Mind Flayer army. I don't really care about fucking a weird, uncomfortable sex scene with a elf. Odd. So I just blew it off entirely. But everyone in that game, including all the men in your party are gay. All of them. Including, spoiler alert, including the Mind Flayer who's talking to you like psionically or whatever that is, like psychically. He kind of, towards the end of the game, is like, huh? You want to get some of this Mind Flayer dick? It's like, you have an octopus face. You eat human brains to sustain yourself. Ugh. Like, God. But it's a little, like, unsettling. That like, it'd be like, okay, if there's one gay member of your party, all right, fine. Or one guy, swings or whatever. But all the dudes are gay. Will's gay. Gail's gay. Astarion's gay. They're all gay. It's like, Astarion's clearly gay. But, I mean, all of them? It feels like a lot. But I never care about the interpersonal relationships in games. It's not real. I don't have a relationship with this character. It's not a real thing. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm more connected to Ian from Fallout 1 than I am to any character in Baldur's Gate, because Ian didn't say shit. He was just there with me the whole time. But some people like it. Okay. For me, I didn't care. What I really liked was I like turn-based combat a lot. Turn-based combat games for me are really exciting. Actually, the opposite. Very entertaining is what I mean. They're actually quite relaxing, which is what I like about them. I think they're like super. They're just you get strategic, and then you get, excuse me, you just get so immersed in the game itself, which I love. It's so like, it's just so engaging, and this game is really good. It's got a pretty good story, a little convoluted, and kind of complicated and confusing. I think that was something that I didn't like initially when I first started playing, is it just throws so much at you. And then so many characters. Like, you meet like almost all your companions within like the first like few minutes of actual gameplay. And it's like, I can't settle into any of this. You just keep throwing things at me. I'm in the Nautiloid, and then I'm in hell, and then I'm fighting, and now I'm on some, planet, and then I'm walking around, and oh, I'm your companion. Oh, so am I. Oh, so am I. It's just like, I got a million quest markers. Just feel like they could have taken their time a little bit in the beginning. And the game, it is a great game, Truly, I think it's a great game. But honestly, it's a little overwhelming. There's a lot, like, there's just so much, which is good and bad. It's great because when you're playing it, there's so much to do and you don't really get exhausted by your options. Like, you have so many different things that you can, like, engage with in the game. But it's like every time you move somewhere new, I personally get, like, emotionally overwhelmed by just how many things there are to uncover. And it's not like a straight line at all, which is fine. I mean, it's an adventure game. That's what it's supposed to be. But for me, those are some of the drawbacks, is that everyone wants to fuck me, including all the men in my camp. Not thrilled about that. And just kind of a lot of things thrown at you and so many words and terms. And if I think I played like Baldur's Gate 1 or 2 and maybe, for like 15 hours or something like that. I never completed it or stuck with it. So you're throwing all these names of people. It's all made up, and lands and races and all, just so much at you. It's like really overwhelming at first. And I think like that's a drawback in the structure of the game. But overall, super fun. I definitely recommend playing Baldur's Gate if you have not. If lots of gay sex bothers you, you bigot. If it's bothersome that the game is like forcing you to have gay sex, it doesn't force you. You have a choice, but it's very uncomfortable. And you're kind of like, wouldn't that just ruin? If like you're in Lord of the Rings, right? And Frodo just kind of starts to want to sleep with like Pippin, and Pippin's like, nah, son. Wouldn't that make like the rest of the adventure a little awkward? Wouldn't it be like a little uncomfortable? You know what I mean? Just every time you're like, is he going to try that again? That's so weird, dude. I wish, But they just act like it's just kind of like a polite rebuke, and we'll just all go back to being normal and friends. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel like if I was on an adventure and like one of the dudes, or all the dudes, that would also be weird too. You kind of be like, what are you guys doing when I'm not around, man? These guys are creeps. Bunch of freaks in my party. The other game, I've talked about this game. The other game I picked back up, is Dredge. God, I love that game. So simple and so satisfying. I think it's the type of game where you have to kind of play it for a little while to like really understand the appeal. Because I just saw like a video on 9gag about it, and it was like so engaging and compelling. Like it was so like just like, what is that? What is that game? Like the art and the style of the game. I was just immediately drawn to it, And I downloaded it. It was pretty cheap too. I think it's like an inexpensive game. Maybe $20 or something like that. And I started playing, and like I was like, the first like 15 minutes, like that's it. This is all the game is just this, like this little fishing sim, and I'm just gonna grab fish, and then God, after like a few hours, I was like so invested. Like it's a brilliant game structure. Like it has just enough incremental like improvements to keep you like chasing it, but not so much that the game ever gets like too easy. And it's got a really great moody, like what do they call that? Lovecraftian horror vibe. So it's very compelling. Like it makes you want to play it. It's like eerie and you don't know what's what. And there's no dialogue, but the voice acting comes in with the characters kind of making like noises, like like when you're talking to them. And it's creepy. Like there's like this creepy undercurrent with some of them. But they added a DLC, I guess just the other day, like maybe last week or something like that, called the Iron Haven Rig or the Iron Rig or something. I don't know. But basically just added a whole lot more gameplay and a lot more dynamism, which I'm glad they did. Because they released another DLC like, I don't know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, something like that. And it stunk. It was I just ripped right through it. I was like, that's it? Because I played it on my last save, right? Played the new DLC where my boat is like maxed out. I have everything as fast as it can go. The hull's as big as it can get. I've got all the space. So then like the challenge of the new realm is not a challenge at all, because like my boat can just zip past the monster and it was nothing. And then you do all these little tasks and they keep showing this giant Leviathan monster like frozen in ice, And every time you achieve one of the little, objectives, the pursuits as they call them, one of the eyeballs like rolls away, and it looks like like one of the eyeballs frozen in the ice, rolls away, and it looks like at the end there's going to be some giant monster burst out, and you're going to have to like fight it or run from it or something. No, it just ends. I was like, that's it? You really built that up. They're like, oh yeah, no, but you get this special net. I was like, that stinks. What was that? I'm like, well, all right. It's like I've already beaten the game twice, you know? Like, this is a DLC. Doesn't really feel like much new content. And I was pretty let down, as you might imagine, as I'm sure you're feeling out there in your hearts. Be like, oh, the DLC didn't satisfy him? That's, wow. He's still brave to just get up every day anyway. But yeah, so I'm glad this one came out because I'm actually like, oh, sick. Yes, I can play more Dredge. It's really addicting, man. It's crazy. It's just, like I said, that incremental increase, you know? Great game. Wonderful stuff. Good stuff. All right, moving on from gaming. What else we got? Well, this is a little thing. I didn't know this. This is just a fun fact. Just a fun little thing that I didn't know. I'm going to let this load. Okay. This is about New York Jets quarterback Aaron Rodgers, but that is not why I'm sharing it. I know my audience does not give a shit about football, although I do. I enjoy football from an occasion, time to time, once in a while. But ads. How Aaron Rodgers got into that word is ayahuasca. I never knew it was spelled like that. Ayahuasca is like a, what do you call it? Like a psychedelic, right? It's supposed to make you feel things and connect with God and stuff like this and blah, blah, blah. I always thought it was ayahuasca. Like Hawawa, Oscar. You know, I was like, I did not know it was Ayahuasca. That, I would have lost that one in the spelling bee. Had no idea. I was like looking at that word for like a few seconds, like, what is this saying? Is this a misprint? Is this a typo? What is that? No. Ayahuasca. That's how that's spelled. Anyway, just thought that was neat. That's literally all I have on that story. I don't care what drugs Aaron Rodgers does. All I give a shit about is if he can be healthy for more than 4 plays next season when the Jets play. That's my only concern, as I am wearing a Los Angeles Rams t-shirt. I did live in LA for a while, and the Jets are usually very disappointing, so I had to find football entertaining somehow, so I adopted the Rams while I was there. And I'm sad to say it didn't really stick once I left. I don't really care. I cared, I guess, the year right after, and then they won the Super Bowl. What? But other than that, I just, nah. I'm just a Jets fan. I'm stuck with it. Just a sad reality, you know? Goddamn Vinny Testaverde. Just had a great run in 98. Played the Broncos in the AFC Championship game. It's the only time I ever remember being excited about football. Just happened to be watching it with my family. And I was invested. And I really wanted Vinny to win. And then he did not. And I just, it clicked with me. I just became like a Jets fan in that moment. And little did I know, it was a lifelong curse. I had no idea. I had no idea what I was picking. What I had just signed up for. A lifetime of embarrassment and disappointment. Yes, butt fumbles, bad draft picks, horribly run, bad decisions, bad coaching, bad season after season after season. Oh, hey, we got a great defense. Top of the league defense, guys. All right, offense is starting to shape up, but guess what? We got one of the best in the league. Aaron Rodgers, everybody. Yes, here he is in New York playing for the Jets. He is ready to go. We're talking Super Bowl. You know, let's see how it goes. And, 2 plays? 4 plays, something like that? Blows his Achilles. 4 plays into the season. Not, like, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I was in a bar in Austin full of Jets fans. Didn't know there was a Jets fan group here. There is. Fun fact. And, yeah, blew the season on a single play. It's tough to be a Jets fan. It's just hard. It just makes you sad. Just makes you sad. And I can't do anything about it. I can't change my team. I wish I could. I've tried. I root for the Cowboys, sort of. I root for the Rams, sort of. But it's not real. It's just that's just that's just what's it called? Like I can't think of the analogy, but basically it's just me avoiding the reality that my team stinks. I'm just trying to have fun with football every once in a while instead of just being embarrassed and disappointed. New Bomb, hello, buddy. Yes, I remember you always giving me shit about that. Aren't you a Bills fan, though? I don't know that I'd be talking too loudly. Hello, Low Spec. Nice to see there are people in the chat. It's been a rather lonely show, but that's okay. I'm still here. I'm still yakking about bullshit. It has been a while, my friend. Hope you're okay. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope things are cooking for you. Cooking right along, brother. All right. So that was Aaron Rodgers teaching me how to spell ayahuasca. I had no idea. Oh, here's an interesting one. Now there's a few more people here. I kind of want to share it so I can get your feedback. I didn't get this one. I'm all for trashing AOC. You know, she is really insufferable. I really don't like her, except for when she was grilling that Secret Service agent woman about the Trump shooter thing. That was pretty good. But apparently, I guess at the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. Hello, Man of War. How you doing, buddy? Didn't know they broadcast sports ball games at the Blue Oyster. It wasn't there. No, it wasn't a homosexual bar. It was a cool bar somewhere in Central Austin that I forgot about. It was a good time. And there was no gay shit, dude. No gay shit. Good to see you, Man of War. I was actually thinking about you when I was talking about Baldur's Gate earlier in the stream. I was wondering if you ever, I doubt it. You're a stubborn old man. I guarantee you probably didn't go back and play it. But it's a great game. It's a great game. It really is. Razorfist likes it. But it's a really good game. It's a well-structured RPG. But anyway, AOC talking at the DNC. I think it was last night, and everyone's ripping into her, and I didn't get it. I mean, her comments are annoying, certainly, and stupid and anti-economic, but I didn't see the criticism that everyone was going after. I really just genuinely didn't hear it. So AOC ripped for fake accent during DNC speech. I'm gonna play you this 34-second clip. Now, I apologize in advance for forcing you to listen to AOC. It's not something I take any pleasure in. But I'm just trying to see if, is this grasping at straws? I guess it was on Twitter and people were talking about it. I have no clue. She's, like I said, insufferable. But I didn't feel like it was a fake accent or anything. What do you guys think?
And I, for one, am tired of hearing about how a two-bit union buster thinks of himself as more of a patriot than the woman who fights every single day to lift working people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life.
Oh, maybe it was that. The life part. Our way of life. Is that what it is?
Our way of life.
I think she just kind of forgot the word and then said it in an awkward way. Or I think she probably just got caught up with herself. I mean, the most annoying part to me is the way she's using her fingers. Black woman, ba, ba. It's like she's a conductor. It's very irritating. I don't care for it.
Fights every single day
bing, shut
to
the
lift
hell
working
up.
people out from under the boots of greed, trampling on our way of life.
It looked like she just let out a fart or something. Live. Something distracted her in the middle of her saying that, right? Our way of life. It's just it's an awkward delivery. But there's nothing about it to me that makes me think she's putting it on to appeal to the South or something. I think she's just a weirdo, or realize that she left the oven on or something. It's just very it's just an odd moment.
Trampling on our way of life.
Our way of life. It's just weird. It's just a strange delivery, but I don't know. Do you guys think that she's putting on a fake accent? Oh, there's more. Guys. Lucky us. Yay.
The truth is, Don, you cannot love this country if you only fight for the wealthy and big business.
Business. Yeah. Right. Like the Democrats don't do. We just give $80 billion a month to the Ukraine. We care about America. We've got a $1.7 trillion plan to price fix and destroy the economy even further. Yeah, we care. Yeah. Yes, that all makes sense, you bubblehead idiot. But I just think she's weird more than anything. Our way of life. Like, I really feel like she just like, well, I just farted. Oh. That's what I think. Or she just realized something very important, or she forgot the word. I don't feel like she was like Hillary Clinton. I don't feel no ways tired. I didn't come this far. It's not like, I don't think it was that. Like Black Sand or just pandering. I just think she's just annoying. A union buster. That's all he is, huh? Just a two-bit billionaire. You 2-bit real estate mogul. 2-bit means like called quarter, right? Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. So that means like you don't make a lot of money. Or is it a nickel? Is 2 bits a nickel? Might be a nickel. But he's not 2-bit anything, really. I mean, he's extremely rich and successful. So 2-bit is not the appropriate term. I think like more the career politicians are more the 2-bit people because they haven't really done anything except win office, which I guess is an accomplishment, but you don't really do much except leech off the taxpayer and further destroy this country. So I don't know. 2-bit? Not accurate. Man of War. I don't give Hasbro weasels of the cuck. Never change, man. A bloody dime, either directly or through license. Yeah, fair. I mean, you got your principles. I'm not mad at you. You know, stay strong, brother. For me, I just like a good game. I can't fight the good fight. You know, that aggressively. If a game's good, I'm gonna play it. Unless I vehemently disagree with what they do. But I mean, everything's gay now. So you're just like, all right, well, this is less gay. I can't get upset about everything that comes out. Newbomb. Her opinion on unions are all wrong. Unions served their purpose years ago. Now they just suck the life out of many industries. I agree with that. I do. I have a theory. I don't know if this is true, but bear with me. I have a theory that the unions, the entertainment industry unions, protect the movie industry more than helping anyone who works in the industry. I imagine there's certain ways that it does. But I was thinking about it, right, for SAG, which is the union that I would have joined. I am still technically SAG eligible. I'm not bragging. I'm just saying. But I was thinking about that, right? It's like, okay, why are there unions? Why do we have an actors union? It's like, well, because otherwise they won't pay us. And it's like, okay, why is that? Because people will do it for free. Okay, what does that conclude about our labor? It's worthless. It has no value. If people are willing to do it for free, then it has no value, right? There's an oversaturation of workers for these jobs. It has zero value in this labor, right? If people do it for free. Okay? But what would that do? That would then create incentives for another company to start and be like, you work for me, I'll actually pay you. And then he's like, oh, okay, now there's competition, right? And it goes back and forth. But if the whole industry is controlled by like 4 companies and they're the only thing, I mean, they really are. It's Hollywood. There is no other there's no competing American industry. It's all an insular, incestuous kind of it's like a wing of the government kind of thing. There's no competition to it at all. But if there were no unions, wouldn't that open the door for more competition? Wouldn't it open the door for a new Hollywood, unaffiliated, opening up in a different, a different city or whatever? Yeah, I'm sure it would destroy some people's lives for a while if you went from making, $100,000 a year to $20,000 a year, but that would suck. I could imagine that would hurt. But I think in the long term, it would probably just create more competitive entertainment industries or companies, right? Because then you're just like, well, I'll pay you this, I'll pay you that. Work for me, I'll give you this. But, it makes it, union rules make it impossible to compete because it's like the amount of union people for a union shoot. My friend did a a feature film in 1 or 2 locations, but mostly one at this house. It was pretty good. I worked on it a little bit, helped him out. behind the scenes. I think it cost him $25,000 or something like that to some degree. It was like, a nice chunk of change. He said if he did it union, it would have cost him 3 times as much. How is that helping the little guy in any way whatsoever? That's just propping up other powerful people. It's like, that's not allowing you to compete. When you work union, you have to hire so many more people. You have to bring in you have to pay them a lot. I don't know. I just feel like unions. Yeah, I think Newbaum's right. I think they've ran their course, and let's just have a free market, competition. Hopefully, we'll get some better shit out of it. I don't know. That's my point of view. Newbaum. Unions came about to protect the worker when the government laws weren't up to the task. Once labor laws caught up, the needs for unions fell off. Yeah. I will say, it's a tad hypocritical of me to be completely critical of the unions because both of my parents are union employees. My mother's in the teachers union and my dad was in, I don't know, whatever union he was in at the oil refinery. So it's like my entire existence, for the first half of my life was all paid for by union wages. So it's a sad hypocritical of me to be like, no, But I do think it's better overall for individuals. I think it's better for markets. I also just feel like people on the whole need to understand that they're not owed a living necessarily. Like, you're not. Like, it's great, we should all be making money and stuff. It's just that if you understand that labor has value, right? And the value of anything is what someone's willing to pay for it, right? So if you're not getting paid enough, it might be the company's fucking you over, But hopefully, if there's enough deregulation, there's enough competition that you can be like, okay, I'm doing a great job here. I'm not getting paid what I'm worth. What are the competitors paying? Can I go work for the competitors? I think maybe that's idealistic, but I think if people thought about that, for when you're younger, when you go into the workforce and you realize that it's not that they're mean, it's not that they're greedy, it's that labor has a value and they will pay you as little as they can because that's in their best interest to make as much money for themselves or their shareholders. That's business. It's not personal. You obviously want as much money as you can get. You're not willing to sacrifice your income for the good of the company. You're not gonna be like, no, I'll take 10% less because I just want this company to be so successful. It's like, no, obviously you want money. So everybody here is negotiating, right? I just feel like if we understood that from a young age, I just think our engagement with the labor market would just be so much more productive instead of antithetical. No, what's the word? Not antithetical. Combative? Sure, let's go with combative. The U.S. auto industry is a mess because of the UAW. Yeah. Well, that's also why American cars sucked for so long. Because they had to cut costs somewhere. If someone's getting paid $100,000 a year to push a broom, man, it's got to come out of something. And it kept coming out of the cars. Man, I had a friend in high school who drove a Mustang. Brand new Mustang. The fucking windows stopped working 6 months after she bought the car. The windows stopped rolling up. 6 months on a brand new car. Now they're much better now. You guys, some of you know that I broke up with my girlfriend a few months ago. She drove a Mustang convertible. Very nice car. And it was a few years old. So I guess they've come back around. Plus, actually, that car was pretty impressive. It was a V8. Sorry, not a V8. A 4-cylinder turbocharged that had the output of a V8. The VTEC or whatever. Had 300 and some odd horsepower from a 4-cylinder engine. That is some good goddamn engineering, if you ask me. I was very impressed. Very impressed. All right. Let's move along. Moving right along, folks. All right. Talk about this Matthew Perry story. EcoBoost. That's it, Newbaum. EcoBoost. Thank you very much. You're right. Very, very good. Impressive American engineering. Let's go USA. Okay, so this is an interesting story. So I was reading about this because I think you guys all know and remember Matthew Perry, Chandler from Friends, died recently. But now there's all these charges. 5 people have been arrested, implicated in his death. I was like, whoa, what? Because when he died, I was like, oh, overdosed, drowned, whatever. He's a drug addict. This happened. Not exactly. The plot has very much thickened. So, here we go. Ketamine queen Jasveen Sangha continued drug operation den months after Matthew Perry's death, prosecutors allege. Now, that is really not the headline here. I mean, it is the headline, but it is not the lead of this story. There's a lot more to this story that's pretty compelling. But I do love that this chick here on the left is like this kind of nefarious, drug running queen pin, and has like the little "I'm so spiritual" dot on her head. It's so perfectly Los Angeles. It is just such a perfectly Los Angeles hypocrisy. Like, look at me being spiritually enlightened. I'm enlightened. I'm in touch with Eastern medicines and stuff. That's why I let people die from overdoses and then keep doing business without skipping a beat and cover up evidence. Javeen Sangha, a.k.a. the Ketamine Queen, continued her drug den operation. Okay, right, we already read that. In the documents, prosecutors accused Sangha of being engaged in a half-decade-long drug business. In March, law enforcement seized multiple pounds of methamphetamine pills, 79 vials of ketamine, fraudulently obtained pharmaceutical pills, and other illegal drugs in the Sangha stash house in North Hollywood. I wonder if she was my neighbor back when I lived in North Hollywood. That month, Sangha was released on a $100,000 bond after an initial charge of possession with the intent to distribute methamphetamine. In addition to Perry's death, Sangha is also linked to a second fatal drug overdose. Sangha, who allegedly distributed ketamine to an individual named Cody McLaurie in August 2019, who died of an overdose within a day. The indictment stated that there are likely more victims due to the amount of drugs Sangha allegedly sold. Friend star Perry died at 54 from acute effects of ketamine. Well, yeah, I mean, ketamine's a depressant. It makes you sleepy. And then he drowned. Makes it sound like the drug killed him. But, I mean, the effect was it made him sleepy. But that's what he wanted. I mean, I've taken ketamine before. I didn't care for it. It wasn't fun. I had a friend of mine who did it quite a bit, especially during COVID. I didn't like it. I felt like I was tripping, and I was like, this is uncomfortable. No, thank you. I'm good on the whole ketamine thing. But it's a recreational drug, and it's a depressant, and it kind of, brings down your system. So it's kind of like, that's a little disingenuous to say he died from the acute effects. That's like someone who died in a car crash, who's drunk driving is like the acute effects of alcohol. It's like, well, yeah, but I think the acute effects of the tree he crashed into had more to do with it than the drinking. Technically, the drinking got him into the situation with the tree, but it was the velocity of the car, not the alcohol. The alcohol impaired his judgment, which made him do something stupid like drive drunk and smash into a tree. But it wasn't the alcohol. It was the tree. So it's like he drowned under the influence of ketamine, I think is far more an integral way, or an honest way of saying that. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Also, is there, I don't know, but is there a lot of precedent for people who sell drugs and someone dying as a consequence of selling them the drugs, like them being prosecuted for murder? Is that a normal thing that happens? I feel like this, I don't keep up on this shit, but I feel like this is the first time I've ever heard about that. I feel like I'm not aware of drug dealers being like prosecuted for, if you sell and they overdose, like that's your fault. It's like, well, I guess it could be. I don't know. I really don't know how that's looked at. It's like, it depends. I don't know. The filing accused Sangha of attempting to destroy evidence. Whoopsie. Oh, boy. That's not good. That's a felony, sweetie. Broke worldwide of Perry's death. Sangha allegedly messaged Eric Fleming, who was the broker between Perry and Sangha, via messaging app Signal to delete all. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to read this whole thing because I'm starting to get a little dry mouth. But the situation is, it's kind of fucked up. So his assistant, like, there was like one statistic in this thing. His assistant was like, some doctor was giving Matthew Perry ketamine, right, to treat his depression, so to speak. Perry, I guess, wanted a lot more ketamine than was legally prescribed to him. So he went around a back door and got this chick, the ketamine queen, to give him like lots of ketamine. And his assistant was instructed on how to inject it, right? That was like their relationship, their connection. And so the assistant was, I guess he did it the first time. He's like, I don't like this. And then he kept doing it. And they said the day he died, okay, it was something that he gave him. I forgot where, I don't know if it was this article or another one, but he basically gave him like a shot of ketamine in the morning, then a shot a few hours later, then a big dose, like right as he went out of the house. And that was the one that killed him. And it was like the middle of the day. So you gave him 3 injections of ketamine like before 2:30 in the afternoon, man. Like, yeah, I think you should be implicated. That's a lot, dude. Like, if I have a friend of mine over and he drinks so hard that like he starts puking or he's and I'm like, dude, keep going. No, keep going. It's like there is part of me that is responsible. I mean, I'm a bartender. I'm responsible if people get too drunk. Right? Like, I'm supposed to cut people off legally. Like, that's my job, or I could lose my job, or I could even face prosecution. If someone gets really drunk and drives home drunk and kills someone, like, I don't know if I get prosecuted, but I definitely get questioned, and I think I can be, fined and shit. It can be, it can be bad. So it's like it is my responsibility as a bartender to cut people off and not get them so fucking drunk they can't stand. So if you're the assistant, it's your responsibility to not just be like killing this dude with ketamine. And it said, okay, he administered 27 doses in the final 5 days of Perry's life. That's over 5 a day, dude. Shots of ketamine. Now, I don't know what like the prescribed dose is, but that sounds like a lot more than the prescribed dose, dude. Ketamine's a powerful drug. So, and I guess the other doctors who like brokered the ketamine deal, they are also being implicated. So total of 5 people are being implicated in the death of Matthew Perry, which is pretty interesting. Because there's kind of like a angle of, well, I mean, he's a individual, right? Like he's an adult, a fully autonomous walking adult. Like, it's his decision. If he chooses to shoot up ketamine every fucking day, and so much so that it kills him, well, that's on him, to a degree. But if you're injecting it when he's got a problem, this is against like the doctor's orders, so to speak, and you're not even a medical professional at all, you're just an assistant. I don't know about murder, but maybe manslaughter or, negligent death, like kind of thing. It's pretty wild. And I guess the other doctors who got on the ketamine, it's still kind of a weird one though. Cause he's like, well, okay, but no one was doing it against him, right? Like no one was doing it to him. This is what he wanted to have happen. So is it really them murdering him? I wouldn't say so. Is it murder when someone gets assisted suicide? I mean, not even in the eyes of the law. I just mean like objectively. If someone's like, hey, doctor, please kill me. I would like to die. And then that doctor does, in fact, do it. He didn't murder the person. He just, like, I don't know. Like, if that's the case, then there are a lot of murderers in Canada. Because, man, the assisted suicide rates in Canada are nuts. Have you ever seen these numbers? Like, I saw people talking about it, and it is insane. If you even, like, type the word suicide, which I don't even say it on YouTube. Duh. If you even type it into that word, what do they call it? Unaliving? Into Google, the first thing that comes up is help is available, suicide crisis hotline. I'm like, okay, I just wanted these numbers. But they have the medical assistants. They're burying the statistics. It is crazy how many people were killed in like 1 year in like 2021. It was such an insane amount. It was something like 15,000 in a single year. Yeah. From 2020 to 2021, it rose 35%. There were, 10,000 medically assisted deaths in 2021. The Canadian government allowed doctors to kill 10,000 people. That's not murder, right? In the eyes of the Canadian government. So is this ketamine queen giving fucking Matthew Perry the ketamine that he wanted? Is that murder? I don't know. I'm not saying either is correct, but those are like, that's the same thing. And like, she didn't think he would die. Obviously, she's probably not a good person. Like, you know, I was reading there were other people that like died in, you know, association with her, and she, you know, she's the one who supplied the drugs, so she's culpable in a certain way. But it wasn't like she's like, oh, I'm going to give this to kill him. Like, I don't think anyone involved thought he would die. You know, you're negligent, right? Like, there should be some kind of negligence, but it's not murder. If that's murder, then all those doctors are murderers, right? They're all murderers. And you know, they're committing fucking genocide in Canada if that's the case. You know what I mean? Like, it's like mass murder, ethnic cleansing. Like, it's like, that is, you know, which one is it? You know what I mean? If a doctor gives you what you asked for, when does it become murder? When does it become you're killing them? You know, like you're making them a victim. I don't know. It's like Perry wanted the drugs. Not saying he should have got them. You know, I feel like, you know, probably if you had friends or people who cared about you who weren't pieces of shit, maybe they should, you know, stop and be like, listen, dude, this is bad. And I bet he probably did. He probably had friends who abandoned him and people who worked for him who wouldn't do it. Maybe he's just, you know, slime balls who stuck around. But yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like murder and manslaughter. But they're all being charged with murder. Maybe they'll plea it down to manslaughter or something like that. But they're all being charged with murder. So the court thought there was enough evidence to bring above the charge. You know, that's pretty for 5 people. 5 people arrested on murder. I think they're all being charged with murder. I might be wrong about that. Don't quote me. But I read a few of these articles. It just said they're being charged in the case. But I'm pretty sure murder charges are on the table here. Which is crazy. I was like, how much responsibility does Matthew Perry have in this? Like, right? Isn't it his own life? But I guess if you're so down to drug, but then what? You're like, if you do drugs, like you're no longer responsible for your own actions. Like that's not. I don't know. Like when does that line get drawn? You know. If he killed someone, you know, he drove on ketamine into a family, no one would be like, oh, well, you know, he was on ketamine. He had no control over himself. It's like, what? No one would think that, and the law certainly wouldn't. So why is it that his death is the hand of someone else if he's the one wanting the ketamine? I guess maybe because the guy injected it for him, but that's just being a bro. That's just being a homie. No, I'm just kidding. That guy's an asshole, but... It's a weird. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, that's weird that's murder. Like you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't provide drugs. If you're a doctor, certainly the doctors definitely should have like their licenses revoked and, you know, some kind of like charges because you hold them to a higher standard, right? And they have the access. The doctor's 100%, and the chick who's like dealing drugs, you know, you're not supposed to illegally deal drugs. That's a crime too. So, just it's like I don't know. Whose responsibility is that? Like, do we all have legal responsibility? Like, if I walk past a guy, you know, I work on 6th Street in Austin. It's a fucking hellhole. Just bums everywhere. Disgusting people. I hate them. And if I walk past a guy, like, shooting up heroin, right, and I don't do anything to stop him from shooting up heroin and he dies, am I implicated in some kind of, like, manslaughter? It's like, he was doing it. I didn't give him the heroin. But I guess maybe because they all gave him the drug. I don't know. It's a weird one. I don't know. I just don't know why anyone else is responsible for anyone else's choice in that regard. It's not a child. He's an adult. Was an adult. R.I.P. Distribution of controlled substances beyond that of a street drug. Oh, wait. Hold on. I can see that for the doctors, though. They know how dangerous Ket is to a human. They kept giving it to him. Doctors 100%. Doctors should be implicated, I think. I think that is, yeah, that's, what the fuck are you doing? What in tarnation? All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up early. I don't really have too much else to talk about, but I will be back, y'all. The MFer Podcast keeps mercifully chugging along, but I will be back to yak at you guys, you wonderful, wonderful people. Although not many of you showed up tonight, but that's okay. The ones who did, I love you. You're good people, and the ones who didn't, I'll forgive you because I have no choice. No, but if you are watching still, please make sure you're still subscribed. Every single day I open up YouTube and I lose subscribers. No idea why. I guess if you don't post, they take subscribers from you. I have no idea. But I've lost 18, 20 subscribers in the past few months. I guess no one likes me anymore. I don't know. They're just like no, this guy who never does anything, fuck him. So just make sure that you're subscribed if you're still watching, or if you see this at any point. If this is if I am talking to you from the past and you are in the future, I hope things are great in that time right now. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching this episode of the MFer Podcast. Oh, new bomb. The feeling's mutual, dear. You guys have a great night, and I will see you all on the next show. Thanks for being here. Ta-ta.